I was there when not many people believed in female fighters and that we had anything viable or anything to offer the martial arts community. And I got to see female fighters who came before me not give up on their dream to fight and paved the way for me. And they may not have been in the public eye, but when my generation of fighters was in the public eye. And I got to be, in that first female fight on Showtime. I got to be in the first wave of female fighters signed to the UFC. I traveled the world because of fighting, because of MMA, as a woman. It's not that it wasn't because of skill and toughness, but it's not that I don't recognize that I lost all the time. But I think I was lucky in losing. I think I was lucky to watch other people do what I was doing and be better at me. And I got to learn from that. I got to learn that it sucks to lose, and it sucks to never have been paid well. That really sucks. But it made me understand why I want them to be paid well, why I understand, like when the Invicta fighters, one of them wins, one of them loses. My heart breaks for the one who loses, but it's also, I have so much more perspective now. I know what that's like. And it's not that bad. It sucks in the moment. But it's just a fight. It's just one more day. The sun rises the next day. When I was a fighter, I've put this kind of thing on my Instagram before, but it's from this essay called Weasels by Annie Dillard, and it's the singular focus of one thing that a weasel has, and that we can live our lives that way. And I was a weasel when I was fighting, maybe, and it's like a very strange thing to call yourself, but you would latch onto a thing and not let go. And fighting MMA was what I latched onto, and I didn't let go, and I stayed in that world and in that mentality. And when I stopped in 2013, when I retired and I went out into the big world, I thought, I became a matchmaker for Invicta FC, and I thought, I'm gonna be part of MMA always, and this and that. But I also had a hunger for other things in the world. I was out of the bubble, so to speak. And I realized that my potential for other things really needed to be developed. The life after fighting is so fucking hard. When you're out of the bubble, oh my God, it is, the transition is, for me especially, because I had undiagnosed ADHD then, and I have depression and anxiety, like strong depression and anxiety at times, and I was really going through a cycle on that. And I was friends with an MMA writer when I retired, and we emailed a lot. And then he was like, I think you should try looking into writing. You get your English degree before fighting, and your emails are very long and detailed. And so I joined a writing group, and in that writing group, I wrote the essay that got me into grad school, and the essay they put in Sports Illustrated, which was about my last fight, or about cutting weight for my last fight. And that's why I have that Picasso on my wall. I think if I were to give something back to other female fighters, besides what I did in my career, being famous for losing the big fights, takes two people to fight, and if you put in a good performance when you lose, it means something too. But I just want them to see that what they're doing is important. It can't be your all forever. It has to be your all while you're doing it. It's important for me to say, it's important as fighters that people maintain that focus. You have to be in that bubble to succeed in that world.
You're a professional athlete who's getting into a cage and getting punched in the face, kicked in the face, wrestled, slammed. And not just in the cage, outside of the cage, you're training that every single day. You have to have that focus. You have to have that weasel mentality. But when you're done with it, understanding that it is connected to important other things like art, like literature, like the way the world works. You can take what you learned, and you can take the things that you learned, and you can find a way to still create art and create something beautiful, even if you're not doing that in the cage. Flooding happens a lot in Kansas, and it just gets really nasty and sweaty in here, so you have to empty the dehumidifier. So, I've been in the big major gyms. I like this better. I like being in the basement, and I like the small space. It's, okay, can't clean it up. I like the building phase so much more. I'm really lucky to be here in this phase where I'm developing the kickboxing program. Demonstrate. To make it safer for myself, get my head offline there. So I'm not really stretched out, but basically, I guess we call it unhinged in Albuquerque, which unhinged works very well for me in multiple contexts. Open it up, open up the door, fan it out like that, bang. Now, what did you feel when I threw that kick? It said exquisite pain.
Couldn't help but to think of doing MMA one day because I saw Gina Carano and Julie Kedzie fight, and I didn't even know that women fought in MMA, and it just planted that seed in my mind.
I don't think I was actually quite aware that it was going to be that big of a fight or that impactful until like the press conference and they're asking us to say something. And I remember getting up there and being as I am as Julie, when all the attention is on me and I have something to say, I'm either really goofy or I get like emotional and wavery. And I do remember I said something, I know we're fighting against each other, but we're fighting together. And it wasn't lip service, but I didn't quite know the impact of that we were fighting together for something, and it was important.
What do you think this did for the sport?
Oh, I think it showed that women are here. I think you guys better expect us for a long time. We throw down like the guys.
And I've gone into it a couple of times, but it's honestly been a very, very long time. I think I've thrown things in without actually going through it, so we will unbox. That was me. That was one of my little promotional ones. Zions. I don't know if they actually, how big that sponsorship was. It might have been just like whatever local Zions dealer, but that was a hottie. Except for the little tummy picking out, but that's kind of cute. What is this? Oh. Fuck. You know what this is? Holy shit. Huh. This is the card Gina put under my door. I don't know what, I don't actually fucking know what to do right now. Like I'm like kind of floored. Hello, Miss Julie Kedzie. I found this card about 6 months ago and never gave it to anyone. I guess I was supposed to give it to you. Sounds weird. It's misspelled. Yeah. I'm a weirdo. Smiley face. Anyways, I just want to say that it was an honor sharing the experience with you. All anyone can tell me is how tough you are. All I can say is that I have so much respect for you in fighting, but also in person, in the person you are. Congratulations on where you are in life, and thank you for not quitting when it hurt. You inspire me to become a better fighter in and outside of the cage. Ring. We fought in a cage. Thank you, smiley face. Sorry, I know writing you might seem a little strange, but I've been very emotional lately, of course. Well, same here, god damn it, Gina. And it was just awesome sharing this with you. Plus, I believe this card belongs to you, smiley face. That was my MySpace quote. MySpace. Plus, I believe this card belongs to you. Smiley face. Call me when you come in town. The phone number I'm not going to read. And good luck with those contacts, because she knocked them out. That was very funny. That was a good moment, because she like pointed at the contacts sitting on my cheek. And I flicked it off, and I was like, all right, thanks. We kept fighting. Ha ha ha. Much respect, Gina. Shit. Wouldn't it be great if people just stayed all good or all villains and you didn't have to deal with nuance? Shit. All right. I don't think I want to read that anymore. I should remember keeping it, but shit, what do you do with that? I'm 42 years old. When did I fight her? When I was 26, 27 years old. That's crazy. It's crazy how much has happened. Yeah, I love you, Gina. Fuck. Just don't say the things that you're saying online. Don't say them. I had an opportunity to train with Gina after the fight, and I absolutely loved her as a person. And later on, as life progresses and people change, I sort of had to distance myself from things that she said and what she was saying publicly, and I just didn't agree with it, and it breaks my heart. That's the thing about it. Fighting, it'll break your fucking heart. Not just in the losing and in the training and the people you encounter, but in what you have to reckon with as a human being and how other people are. And I know, can't we all be friends? World peace, let's all get along. We're all one. We're not all one. Some people, whether out of ignorance or deliberate or just ignorance, they promote some harm, and instead of learning about why something is harmful to someone, but they double down on their own sense of rightness. And that is a big mouthful for me to say, because that's exactly what I'm doing, right? Doubling down on my sense of moral rightness or whatever it is. I don't know what it is. I just know to protect myself, I want to be around people who believe in a progressive world, who want to take care of each other. And that is a painful way to live. It is a painful way to seek out, because that means you have to see what hurts in order to see what helps. You can't just sit there in the bubble anymore. It sucks not to fight anymore. Well, it sucks not to fight MMA anymore. It sucks not to be in this protective little world, which I know nobody sees it as this protective little world, because, you know, you starve as a fighter. You're poor all the time. You're dealing with abuse online and in life and everything like that. Like, I know that fighters don't think I understand, but maybe they don't know me, because I do understand. But I can't be the weasel anymore. I have to protect the weasel.
One of the things that I admired or appreciated when I started Invicta and I was looking for someone to work with as a commentator was I was looking for someone that knew the sport inside and out and a passion for women in the sport. And, you know, that definitely led me to Julie Kedzie.
That's what I'd always wanted. Somewhere where the fighters could just be themselves. The women.
I feel like she deserves that respect and the praise, because she has done so much for the sport behind the scenes. Like, she's been a very important part in promoting women.
I call her the staple of the Invicta FC commentary team because she was there night one. She's a staple of women's MMA, and she was definitely an athlete in a different generation, and today she's a commentator in another.
But when you see fighters go out there and their entire focus is not even winning the fight, but it is almost winning every exchange or imposing their will or just being in the moment and fighting, that's to me, it resonates so strongly.
And at 133 pounds from Bloomington, Indiana, please welcome Julie Kedzie.
And I think spring is coming for this weasel. That's what I think. I think whether or not it's in writing or talking about fights or whatever I'm doing, I'm closer to waking up. I'm closer to waking up. Yeah.
And this is the certificate I got from there, which I haven't put on the wall yet, which I only just found the other day. MFA Creative Writing at Iowa. I mean, it's one of my big achievements in life. Like, that book will come. It will. I promise, Christopher, I promise it'll come. It's my agent. It will.